BBC Hooniverse.
You're watching the TGM production.
Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel Tom Mason. It's a TV show that fails to be a TV show every time I press record, every time I open my mouth. This week we're talking about Torchwood and what will happen in the future due to Big Finish being able to do without Captain Jack Harkness and there being a London branch. Will Torchwood ever return? The answer to that is probably not. Due to how popular and due to how much of audio there is, I don't think the showrunners of the longest running sci-fi TV show on TV, Doctor Who, would want to do that. Do I blame them? No, I don't. Is it annoying? Probably. The London branch could easily return with a new boss because Tracy, can't remember her last name, she could have been sacked at some point, and they could do a whole new team with a London branch. Or here's a crazy idea: we've had a London branch, with a Cardiff branch. Why not a Manchester branch? Hey up, duck. I know that's not Manchester, but I didn't want to try a Manchester accent, so I decided to say hey up, duck. We could have a Yorkshire Torchwood. We could have a Newcastle, Yorkshire, Newcastle, Torchwood. Why did I say Yorkshire there? No one knows. Not even me. Not even me. Anyway, that was a very, very poor joke, which fell flat on its own bum, and even I knew that. So, when you sort of think about it, why could we not have new branches of Torchwood? Well, I think we don't have new branches of Torchwood because they think that TV Torchwood would only work with Captain Jack Harkness. Well, listen to the audios. They work really well without him because they do Yanto, they do Gethin, they do Tom Price. Yeah, I can't remember who he plays, but Tom Price do him. So I think that having a Yorkshire or a Manchester or a Canadian branch, I don't know, it's endless really. I think if you just give it a new branch, go, we're Torchwood, what about we're the branch? Because we first met Torchwood with the London branch, and then we met Torchwood again with the Cardiff branch. So I do think you'll make it original. Because obviously, unit gets updated every time, things change within unit, and so unit is fresh each time. But if we have a new branch of Torchwood, because we don't know where the origin of Torchwood is, then we could get Torchwood back, but in a sense it could be a special. What I mean by that is that you will still recognise Torchwood as a brand, but it won't be the same Torchwood you used to watch, so it's fresh. It's a fresh take on that organisation, because it proves that the organisation is everywhere, and yet nowhere at once because of beyond the law, even though the police know who they are. And it's one of those things again where you really think about it, how different, sorry about that spike in audio, how different is Torchwood to Unit? How different are they? And that's one of the key questions you have to sort of ask yourself, because when you're looking into the organisations, well, why does Torchwood exist? Because Torchwood and Unit are very similar. Units have that classic history, so keeping Unit around is for that reason. But why Torchwood then? Torchwood sort of defeats similar villains. It's just that Captain Jack Harkness is unkillable, and in the London branch there was none of that. So, is it just more secretive than Unit, or what? I don't actually know, and I don't think anyone else probably knows either. So, to get down to the bottom of this discussion, what will be the future of Torchwood? Well, I think if we add a new branch, that could expand the future, but at the moment I think it's unlikely that Torchwood will return to our TV screens on the main series of Doctor Who. I definitely don't think Torchwood would return, even though the Australians wanted it. Because they said at the end of Miracle that they wanted to have a return, because they said Torchwood will return. And yes, Captain Jack returned a few years later, but Torchwood itself did not return. And that isn't actually anyone's fault. It's just that Captain Jack appeared. It wasn't very successful in a sense of the storyline wasn't really there for Captain Jack to return as much. So they decided to get rid of that and move on and try and work out other ways. So I think the bringing back Torchwood would just... Greg Cooper could have moved to the London branch, could have moved to a Yorkshire branch or a Manchester branch. She could have moved out of where she was so that we could have her more in things. Eve Miles back in Doctor Who. Who knows? So, on that note, I shall say adios, amigos, goodbye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.